Hey everybody, good to see you. We're in Michigan. We're actually in Michigan this time. We're actually on Mackinac Island and we're at the Grand Hotel where, I don't know if you guys who has seen, what is that called? Somewhere in Time. It's a movie that had Christopher Reeves in it and Jane Seymour way back when. And it was filmed, at least in part, I don't know if it was entirely, but it was filmed right here in Michigan. This is it's like the very tip of the Lower Peninsula. You actually go across the bridge and then you can take a really cool ferry. And anyway, I decided to use this as the background because I think it's absolutely beautiful. And it's someplace that we try and go every year or every couple of years and get some fudge and ride some bikes. And they've got horseback riding, and I mean, just so much. It's just so much fun. There's actually no motorized vehicles allowed on the island, and it's just beautiful. And so since we can't go, I thought, why not? Because we're doing stuff today with the seaside. So I thought that would be fun. We've got a lot of water here in Michigan, but this is the island that we would go to. So anyway, okay. Hi. I hope you guys had a great weekend. We actually had kind of a lazy weekend. Do you ever have one of those lazy weekends where you're just kind of like tired and you don't know why? And I think maybe I worked a little too much through the week and got a little burned out. But I had a very lazy weekend where I just kind of wanted to watch TV, so I didn't do very much. So anyway, so let's see. We've been reading all the names of everybody who's here. It's so great. We've got Kathy Marvel. We've got Dixie and Debbie. Oh, Stephanie joined us. Hey, girl. Susan and Blanca, who's here. I know I saw Margaret Chapman, Beverly Gleason, so many people. Cindy Patty, hey. I'm going to go look over on YouTube real quick. We've got Maureen and Jen and Lisa and Shelly, Sue. IB Elf is here. Nice to see everybody. Maureen and Sandy. It's so good to see everybody here. Let me see. We've got a couple of people over here. Sheila Fisher. This is over on the Facebook page. Cindy Holmes. Let's see. Oh, another Stephanie. Stephanie Sharples. So good to see everybody. I wanted to give a little shout out. We've received a few cards from you guys, and it's so sweet. We actually received a couple of these, excuse me, a few weeks back, and I keep forgetting to bring them into the studio, and thank you guys. So we've got, this one is from, who is this one from? Let me see. Oh, this one is from Chris Lawler. I hope you guys are okay with me showing your cards because I just think they're so sweet and so beautiful. And I love that you guys use some of the products that you got from LDRS. You can see through some of them because of the green screen, and that means that's like a green leaf or something. But look how cute that is. They're so sweet. I love seeing the cards that you guys make. And then, of course, the really sweet notes, the very kind notes that you guys put inside are just so nice. This one is from Kathy Marvel, and she used polka doodles. Look how cute that is. What, Alan? What do you... I don't... My husband's doing something. Anyway, look how cute this card is with one of our polka doodles. This one's from Kathy Marvel, and it's so awesome. And then we just got this one, and this one is from Danielle. Look how sweet that is with our cardinal seasons. I love this, and I love cardinals so much. It's one of my top 2 favorite birds. Absolutely love them. So thank you so much. It's really sweet. We don't get sent cards a lot, so this was a real treat. So thank you guys. We really appreciate it, and the notes that you wrote inside were absolutely sweet. So I'm going to get rolling today because we've got a lot to do. I decided today as I was prepping, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to work on, and I thought, you know what? I've been doing a lot of stenciling, a lot of stamping and coloring and critters and all that stuff, and I thought, let's take this down a notch. And I really wanted to just I didn't want to color. I wanted to do some solid stamping. And I thought instead of stenciling, let's grab a paper pack and see what we can create with that. And I wanted to do very clean and simple and just very quick, fun beautiful cards. So that's what we're going to do. So I've actually got 4 of them if I can get through them today. They're that easy and that fun. The first one has a little more work to it, but I'm going to kind of step you through the beginning of it so you get the idea. And then I have the pieces finished, but because I just don't want to bore you through all the, it's like a repetitive step over and over again. So anyway, I'm going to switch cameras and then we're going to get rolling. Okay, here we go. So this, let me get my glasses on so I can see. These are the stamps that I chose today, and I haven't worked with this one for you guys yet, and I thought it would be a lot of fun because I really love this. In Michigan, we've got water everywhere, little lakes and stuff every place. We, of course, have the Great Lakes all around. But to be perfectly honest with you, I am terrified of oceans. I'm terrified of lakes. I love swimming pools. I'm definitely a city girl, and I like swimming pools. And if I had my choice of scenery, it would be the mountains. It wouldn't be the ocean. And it doesn't mean I don't like the ocean, but it would be the mountains. But one thing I do love is nautical stuff. I absolutely love nautical stuff. So the reason I'm mentioning that is even though I don't necessarily love to be on the water, this is one of my favorite sets because it has everything nautical. It's just the coolest thing, and I love lighthouses. So, and again, it's not to say I don't like lakes and stuff like that, but if I had my choice, I would be in a swimming pool overlooking the ocean. So we're going to work with this one today, and this is a solid stamping set, which means you're going to grab whatever color of ink pads you want, a whole variety of ink pads. You're not going to be doing any coloring with like pencils and markers and stuff. You're going to get your color from your ink pads. And here's some examples on the back, as we always like to show you. We're going to also work with these coordinating dies, and we've got one for all of these and everything in here with the exception of the sentiments. So here we show you on the back, of course, if you're not familiar with our dies, which die goes with which stamped image. Okay, so that makes it easy. Because sometimes, when you look at these funky shapes, you're kind of like, well, what does that go with? I'm not sure. Well, I mean, this one's kind of self-explanatory, but some of them can be kind of difficult, especially with the little critters and stuff. So we like to show you on the back. And then as I was grabbing things, I grabbed these 2 die sets, which, because I wanted some squares. So I thought I'll use this one because it has the scallop, but I'm going to tell you right now, the card would be just as adorable if I didn't use that and I just cut with my paper trimmer a square. But I wanted that extra little scallop. And then I also grabbed this stitch square because I wanted the outermost square. And you'll see, even though in my card you don't see the stitching, it was so fast just to cut a perfect square. So I always grab these just for that perfect square and how easy it is. And then I also grabbed our Seaside paper pack, which this sold so fast. We were sold out of it for a couple of weeks. We just got it back in stock. It's been so hugely popular this summer. And so I thought that I would play with this a little bit and use these for my backgrounds. So I'm going to get started. And I want to show you the first card that I came up with. And this, when you're with this particular card, these are just colors that I chose. You could choose whatever colors you want, of course. But, all right, here we go. Let me set this stuff aside because this is the part that I want to show you. So let me grab my colors here. I actually started with 3 colors and then I grabbed a 4th because, well, it wasn't working out with just 3. All right, let's see if I can get all these on screen. There we go. Let me get all this stuff out of the way. Okay, so what do I have here? I've got Soft Kisses. Now these are hybrid inks, and a hybrid ink is a combination ink. You can use this for just about any crafting application you want to do. Coloring with any medium, stamping on, porous surfaces, glossy surfaces, whatever you want. Go to ink pads. So I've got Prickly Pear Perfection, which is a gorgeous green. Dandelion. And I grabbed Dandelion very specifically because it's more of a golden yellow, and I didn't want this card to look real babyish, and I think if I would have gone with a lighter yellow, it would have looked more babyish. And then I grabbed my favorite blue, which is Marina Madness. And so basically, this is what I want to kind of start you off with and show you how I did this, because they look like they're almost perfectly lined up, although they're not. But I want to show you how I did it and what I did and what my thinking was. So let me grab, this is how I started. So let's get this out of here. And if you're new today, we always do a giveaway. And we do the giveaway, we draw the name for the giveaway from the comments. So if you're here and you're interested in winning, and I haven't mentioned what the prize is yet, but I will. If you're interested in winning, we can only draw your name if we know that you're here. Okay, so leave a comment. And you're free to ask me whatever questions you want. I will do my best to answer. They can be personal questions. They can be, questions about products. We do try and keep politics and religion out of here, so let's keep it fun and light. So here we go. I've grabbed, this is the sailboat, and here's what I did. Because I could go into math with this. I could measure this, and I could figure out what is my width and what is my length, and I can start saying, I want this, X number of these stamped, and they're this big, and I'm like, you know what, no. I don't want to do all that. I just want to craft. So I wing it. This is what I did. I put this in the center. I grabbed another piece of paper. Okay, now, well, basically this card, though, I should tell you what this is. This is my Nina Classic Crest, 110 pound. It is cut to an A2 card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm going to end up trimming that down, but so anyway, I put that right in the center, and then I just grabbed another piece of cardstock, and this is what I did. This is my little cheat show here. I literally line this up. I know that I've got a straight edge on this piece here, and I have a straight edge here. So I literally line that up, just like so. I grab my pencil. Let me move that out of the way. And just draw a very, very light line. Maureen says, Maureen is asking me a question. Do you like to sail or do water sports? No, I'm seriously terrified of lakes and rivers. Is that in the center? Let me see if I put that in the center. I think that's still going to work. I think I had it too high. I am seriously terrified of what is in lakes and rivers. I was out with some friends this one time. A friend of mine had a friend who had a boat, and they wanted to go water skiing, and I had never been water skiing, and so they were like, "Oh, we'll teach you, right?" All right, let me back up. It wasn't a friend of mine; it was a boyfriend. And I'm telling you that part because there's a little funny part to it. I was probably about 21 years old, 22 years old. Anyway, Alan got a kick out of that. So anyway, they're going to teach me how to water ski, right? And I did not know how terrified I was of the water until this episode happened. Because, they water skied, then it was like my turn, and I was afraid to get out there and try it. And so they said, well, all right, we'll stop the boat, we'll get in the water, you can get used to the water and everything. So they both got in the water. So it was like the guy I was dating and his friend get into the water. And then it's my turn, so I jump in, and when I came up, I couldn't breathe. I was like suddenly hyperventilating and panicking. And the funny part was the closest guy that was next to me was not the guy I was dating. So I literally just grabbed on to his friend and just wrapped myself around him in this panic. It was absolutely hilarious after the fact. Like once I got back in the boat, it was funny. Anyway. So that one is there. And then I'm going to go in the other direction. Oopsie. There we go. I'm going to go in the other direction just like this. and mark this off as well. And I don't care if this is totally straight, because this is, I'm just going to kind of eyeball how these are going to go. So this is how I divided it. All right, it's not perfect. The one in the middle is thinner, and that's fine. I'm going to end up cutting the ones on the sides. I don't even care if it's perfectly straight, because these lines are going to come out of here anyway. I'm going to delete these. Do you have any hobbies other than crafting? Well, decorating is a hobby for me. I absolutely love decorating. Let me see, do I have any other hobbies? I used to like to go out on my bike until we moved to where we live now, because we have little hills and stuff, and I'm not strong enough to do that. I do love being poolside. I love traveling. That is something I do really love to do. I don't know. I think it's really crafting, but there's so many things you can do with crafting. Okay, so I'm going to place this in here, and I'm going to put my boat in the center, just like this. All right? And I'm only going to do a couple of these because I don't want to spend the whole time doing this. So I just happen to put the blue in the center. And I'm going to ink this up. I'm going to do it a couple of times. Now, one thing you will notice with these hybrid inks is it looks a little splotchy, but that does fill in as it kind of evens out, I should say, as it dries. Oops. As the ink dries. Okay, so there is one. Wipe this up. Sorry about the squeaking. And I do like to use my cleaner in between just to get any excess, because I am going to be going from one color to the next. So this is just how I did it. Let me dry this a little bit. And then I will go with my pink over to here. Let's say this is my tickled pink. Oops, didn't push that down very well. I'm going to get that a little bit closer and line that up. There we go. All right.
Danielle is here.
Oh, Danielle is here. Hello, Danielle. Oh, was she here when I showed the card? Oh, well, we got your card, and it is gorgeous, and I hope you don't mind, but I did show it to everybody. It's so pretty. Thank you so much. We don't get a lot of cards, and I absolutely loved it, so that was so sweet of you. Oops. Ah, I'm getting this everywhere. All right, so here's that dandelion. And like I said, it's a little splotchy, but that does go away as the ink dries. So I think you get the idea of this. This is what I do. This is how I did it anyway. Let's put this up here. And then you would keep going until you fill in all of these spaces, all right? And then, of course, you still see those lines there. Do you remember this? This is that sand eraser. This one is for ink. I do have one that's for paper, or I'm sorry, for pencil, but this one worked just fine. And so once I had them all in here, I then just went in and erased those lines.
Stay away from the ink.
Just like so, yes. Well, yeah, stay away from the ink. But actually, the ink dries pretty well. You're not going to erase it that easily. But you can see how well that erases, all right? And then I ended up with this in the end. So you would just keep going with your colors, all right? Stamping one then the other. So that part is a little bit tedious, but it just yields such a beautiful result. I really love it. And I like the colors I chose too. I think it came out really nice. And I think they're really nice, bright, and summery colors. So let me put these over here. There we go. So then next up is finishing this card. And this is where it's even easier. So I have a card base here, which is an A2 card base. You start with a half sheet of letter size paper. So you cut it in half. So you end up with 5.5 by 8.5. And you're going to see little frayed edges to mine because my my paper trimmer, the blade is dull and I couldn't find a new one, so I had to keep going with it because I didn't want to be late for class today. So anyway, I grabbed a coordinating piece of just solid cardstock and I trimmed it just a tiny bit. I trimmed it, I think I took a 1/4 of an inch off of the sides, off of each of the two sides, length and width. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down. Oops, actually I don't need to turn it that time. And I'm going to center this. I always like to have, I shouldn't say always, but usually I like to have a little bit of a frame around. I just think it looks really pretty. It frames it and just kind of highlights it. This next one, this next piece, I'm going to go ahead, because I always like to have dimension on my card. So I'm going to put some foam on this. So we've been thinking about maybe stocking some of this foam in the store. Does that interest anybody? Let me know. Oops, as I drop it.
Oh my goodness.
What? What happened?
Vivian wants to know how we met.
Oh, hold on a minute. This is the foam right here. This is the whole thing right here. It's a big one. And this is what I have left of the one. So Vivian is asking how Alan and I met. The short story is he hired me. He hired me. He was working at a law firm. No, the law firm where he works now. And he hired me to, what is your title, Alan?
I don't know, director of something.
He's like the director of operations or something. And he hired me to basically to run the help desk. So, okay. So that's how we met. He hired me. All right, so this is what we have here. Oh, and I should tell you too, this is another little favorite of mine. This is Wink of Stella. I think this is Zig, which I think is that Kuretake? Kuretake, something like that. But this is Wink of Stella, which is just kind of shimmery. And I don't know if you can see, I don't think you can see it on there. You can see it in person. But I went over all of these little boats with it just to give a little bit of a shimmer. It's a really pretty little shimmer. And then I grabbed, let me put this away. I'm really weird about putting stuff away. Otherwise I lose my stamps and I don't want to lose them. So I grabbed this You're a Lifesaver sentiment here, which I think is super, super cute. And while it probably would have made more sense to stamp it in red, it wouldn't have gone with my card. It wouldn't have matched it. So I went ahead and stamped it in my Raven Hybrid ink. I cut it out with the coordinating die, which is right here. Easy peasy. And you can see that Raven. Look how beautiful black that is. I mean, some of the blacks are really gray. This is just such a gorgeous black. And so I'm just going to put this right here. Actually, no, I'm going to put it here. I think it's kind of pretty. I don't know if it's straight. Gosh, I hope it's straight. There we go. A very simple little card. And that's it. Very clean, very simple, 1, 2, 3. And I just think it really packs a punch. It's really pretty. So that is our first fun and simple card. Let's see, what is our next one? Oh, this one's even easier. I actually made this one first. And the idea behind this was I wanted to grab a piece of paper from this paper pack. Get this out of my lap. There we go. I wanted to use a piece of paper from this paper pack as the backdrop of this card. And so I grabbed, this is my working paper pack, so you can see all of these beautiful, gorgeous, look at it, you can see I use it. Gorgeous patterns here. I grabbed this one. I think this is my favorite pattern from this entire paper pack because I love the little ripple of water. I just think that's so cute. So I decided to work with that one. So I trimmed that down in such a way that I would end up having that kind of in the lower portion and as far left as I could. So I trimmed off the side here and a little bit off at the top. I have, that's not my, is this it? Oh, this is my A2 card base again. All right, so I won't go through the measurements again, but I have my A2 card base. And I have this trimmed down. So it's going to fit just like this. I trimmed, I think I trimmed a 1/2 inch off of the length and the width. I took another piece. Coral is such a gorgeous color, and that is in here. There's so much coral in this. It's just so beautiful. So I chose, well, you can see which one I chose, the bigger piece. And I trimmed that down. I gotta get all those little things off of there. So that that is the same width as the card, the background. And then the next thing I'm going to do is a little sentiment. And the one that I want, because this is such a cute little boat, I'm going to grab this and put this over it. You float my boat. So cute. Let's get that one out of there. And I'm going to actually do this one in, what color am I going to use here? I'm going to use Dark Wash Jeans. You float my boat. Get this out of the way because I know I'm going to get ink on something that I shouldn't. So I'm going to center that. Just like so. Actually, you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to trim it first. Yeah, I'm going to trim that down and center it because otherwise I'm going to be trying to trim both sides of it and that is not going to be good. Let me double check my measurement. Ooh, that's actually at 3 7/8. Glad I checked that. So I'm going to trim this down to 3 7/8. So that way it's only one cut. And now I'm going to center it. Whoops. You float my boat. There we go. And like I said, I'm using Dark Wash Jeans. Uh-oh, we just lost the camera. There we go. There you go, perfect. I love this. Notice how that sentiment, how the letters in the word float kind of dip. It's so cute. Look at that. Kind of dips down like it's on a wave. Really cute. Telling you the attention to detail. What are you laughing about over there, Alan?
Ethan.
Huh?
Ethan showed up.
Oh my goodness, my grandson Ethan is here. My grandson Ethan is in the Dominican Republic right now. He went there and didn't inform some of the important people in his family that he was leaving the country. So if something would have happened, we would not have been able to tell the police where to look. Just saying. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and trim this. I'm going to pay attention to how much space I have at the top there, and I'm going to eyeball it so that I have kind of an equal amount of white space on the top and the bottom. Again, I don't care if it's perfect. I just want it to be kinda. And then that is going to fit just like that. How cute. All right, I'm going to start putting some of this together. Oops, come here, you. See if I can center this top to bottom. There we go. Sharon is saying, you use your MISTI very often. Have you ever needed a new black foam insert from pushing down on the stamps? I have never. I have never, ever, ever had to replace that, to be honest with you. Yeah, and I've got my pink MISTI. I've got my my Black Hero Arts MISTIs. No, I've never had to replace it. I've never had an issue with it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pop this up on foam. Let's see. Oops. So I go through a lot of foam. If you're new here, I go through a lot of foam. Make sure my card is opening in the right direction. Try and center this on here. I think that's so pretty. And then I'm going to pop that up on foam also, because why not? Right? All right. Uh-oh. Got a little something on there. What?
The eraser.
Yeah, I need an eraser. Actually, I'm going to go like this. Look, I can put this right here, and I can have that blue framing it on either side really nicely. Look how pretty. Very clean and simple. I love it. I'm going to go ahead and erase whatever just got on there. There we go. Perfect. And I love, you know, we've got the coral in the boat here, and we have the coral there. I just think that really is so pretty and very clean and simple. Not a lot of work. That's like a 5-minute card. It's always nice to have some 5-minute cards, you know. And these are the kind of things that you can do, and you can just kind of have a little stash of these so that you have a go-to card. I mean, think about this. These cards here, like this one here, you float my boat. I mean, you could give that to, you know, you could, if you want to use that for a birthday or for whatever. I mean, or just, you know, because it's Thursday, or today would be Tuesday, but okay. So here we go. Again, I've got an A2 card base. I grabbed another one of the beautiful papers, and this one I actually have cut to the full A2 size, so it's going to be the complete. It's going to cover the complete card front, and we're going to flip this one so that it is landscaped. And I've got these pieces here. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Let me show you the full piece here, because I just think this is gorgeous. Look at that wood grain. It's just gorgeous, and I love that we had that beautiful blue in there. It's just so pretty. Okay. This is just white cardstock. This is where we're going to go with it. I'm going to layer these up like this, and then I grab the sheet of coral, and this is where, if you just wanted to do a plain square with this, you could, but I wanted to have that scalloped edge on it, and that's where I grabbed the second largest die from the Practically Square die set. It's not necessary. I just think it adds just an extra little, you know, touch to it. So that's going to layer over the top there. And then I've gone ahead and I stamped out this, what are these things called? That's like the wheel for the ship that you would steer. And I did that in black, which is not in, I very purposely did it in black. It's not one of the colors in the paper pack, so I thought it would really stand out. And it says on here, in high or low tide, I'll be by your side. And if you look at this, let me put this up against a white piece of paper. Actually, maybe that's not the best. Let's do it this way. you can see that the die not only cuts the outside, but it cuts these little pie-shaped pieces out of the center. So it's very detailed. I didn't lay the die over there perfectly. Mine's a little bit off center, but you know what? I'm not going to worry about it that much. And then I grabbed this other one that says just a little message. This one right here. I stamped that, and I just cut that one out by hand, and I stamped that in the blue. So I'm not going through all of the stamping and everything just because you guys know how to stamp. You've seen me stamp. I'm sure you've seen other people stamp, and you guys have stamped. So, uh-oh, man down.
Down.
So I'm going to lay this on here. I've taped it on the back. Make sure the card is opening in the right direction. And there we go. So that completely covers. So this is one of those few instances where I don't have a frame around it. Liz is asking, is that a metal die that gives the wave look?
I think prior card.
Oh, the prior card. No, the paper is designed like that. It's this particular sheet of paper from the Seaside paper pack. This is it right here, and you get 2 of them in the paper pack. That would be cool if we could get that effect with a die, though, wouldn't it? I just think it's so pretty. Okay, so this one is just layering. Now I'm going to do these 2 together. Again, sorry about the frayed edges. I need a new blade for my paper trimmer. So this one, I cut the white cardstock just a little bit larger because I like to have the frame. And then this one I'm going to put on some foam. So I don't have characters on any of the cards, by the way, that I'm doing today. If you're just tuning in, I wanted to do this character-free with just solid stamping, paper pack, and some very simple dies. Allie is saying, how do you come up with ideas? That's a good question. You know, some of it, I just get an idea in my head of what I want to do. I just kind of get like a picture in my head. Other times, I actually get inspiration from cards that other people do. You know, you can look to other people's cards for layouts, for layout ideas, and you can go from there. You know what? This one, I'm gonna put that one. No, I want it up on foam. So this card is going to have a little more height to it, or thickness to it. No. Can I fit 2 of those? Yeah, I think I can. But yeah, you can certainly get inspiration from cards that other people do. You can even take somebody else's layout, and by layout, I don't mean you're copying the card. I just mean layout is like the placement of things. Like, you know, for example, you have something in the center here, and we've got a strip behind it, and you have something in the center. And, you know, maybe you start with that, and, you know, and then we have the solid, or not solid, but the full cardstock in the back. But maybe you start with that, and then you start layering on your characters. So there's nothing wrong with starting with an idea that somebody else has, and then, you know, making it your own, taking it and changing it up, adding characters, adding whatever it is you want, but doing like your own version of it.
All right. An uprising that people want a subscription kit.
We are. Alan said you guys are asking about a subscription kit, and I'm going to tell you right now that we are doing a subscription kit. Our first one is going to be an October kit. We're going to do them every other month. We had posted the question a couple of weeks ago, and we're definitely going to do it. They're only going to be available through LDRS, and we're going to start with October, And we're going to do them every other month. Ooh, I think I put, all right, so I just put some tape on the back of this now. You can see I stamped on the back of it. I'm using scraps. So let me put this on here. I'm going to put this right across the center. There we go. Very simple card. And Allie's saying, do I design them myself? Yes, with my cards. Yes, I do design them myself. All of these I did design myself, but you know, like I said, some of the initial ideas, like some of the repetitive, this repetitive stamping, one of our design team members actually did a card that had some repetitive stamping with something else, and I remembered that as I was sitting down to come up with cards, and I thought, you know, I'm going to do something where I'm repeating and doing a variety of colors. So, you know, but you know, these two I didn't have any other inspiration for them. So it can come from, you know, from anywhere really. Okay, let's see. We've got one more card. So that's 3 cards already. And I've got stuff on me. Beverly is saying, are you a lone crafter or do you like crafting along with friends? I love crafting with friends, actually, when they're in town. I don't have any crafty friends here. So when I'm crafting, I am pretty much alone, but I'm usually crafting with a purpose too. So it might be for a show, for, you know, or, you know, for one of these lives or something like that. But I do love crafting with friends. I don't get as much done when I'm crafting with friends. Okay, so this card, I'm going to show you what I did here because this was just fun. So I have an A2 card again, and I have this piece here, and let me show you how simple this was. I made it really, really simple. I wanted to split this up. I wanted to use 2 pieces of paper on it, on my card front, and I wanted a little bit of a frame. So I went to my 4-inch, so I chose 2 pieces of paper, I should tell you. I really loved this one with the anchors, and then I thought this was just beautiful with that beach and the sand. So I could have just done 2 triangles, but I didn't because I wanted there to be a little more of a foundation to it. So I just cut this to 4 inches, and then I'm going to go to 5 1/4. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this, 4 inches, 5 1/4. You know what? I'm going to trim that little bit of that top off of there so that I have a clean edge where I don't have that other little pattern starting there. So I'm going to cut this then to 5 1/4. And then I don't like to draw lines and all that stuff. I literally lined it up. I don't know if you can see it, but on this particular paper trimmer, there is like a little, can you hear that? There's a little something there that I can use to eyeball. I go from corner to corner. Just like so. Just like that. And so I end up with my 2 pieces, so now I can actually make 2 cards. Get all my little scraps out of here. By the way, speaking of scraps, I don't save teeny tiny little scraps, but like scraps that are this size, I save this because I can use these, I can pair these up and I can put these on a card. I can put this down the middle of a card like this, you know, if I have a different card base or whatever. So I save them, not the teeny tiny ones, but those that I think I can use on a card, I save. So I have, this one is my, just slightly smaller than A2, and then I have this that's going to fit just like this. Oh, this is so, I really need to get a new blade. Ah, it's so frayed, it looks terrible. You run that down. Okay. Go ahead and get my tape on here and put this right into the corner. I just think this is a lot easier than cutting 2 triangles. And if it's not perfect, so what? Okay, so here we go. What other pieces do I have? Okay, so here is another one. Let me move this stuff over. I cut a white with that scallop, that same scallop. It's one of my favorite dies. And I love the stitching. I don't know if you guys can see that stitching. The stitching is really pretty. And then this is where I used that little stitch square. You can see on the back, you can see the stitching. But I just wanted a perfect and quick square, and so I used the largest die out of the stitch square set. And these you can layer up. You know, if I want to layer this into like this, look how pretty that is. That's actually what I'm going to be doing. Allie is saying, does Alan like to craft too? He will die cut for me. And he has actually made a couple of cards for me, which was really sweet. But does he like to craft? I don't know, Alan, do you like to craft?
It's as stressful as cooking.
He said it's as stressful as cooking for him. He doesn't cook. Make sure my card's opening in the right direction. I'm going to lay this down. There we go. So I've already got some foam on the back of this one. And I'm going to put this right here. Make sure it's straight and centered as best I can. I can't get my head over the top of it, so it's hard to tell if it is centered. I'm going to go ahead and put some foam on the back of this square. Oops. I like dimension on my cards. I like to see the little shadows. I like the lift. It just kind of brings it to life. And at first, when I was deciding what I was going to do here, I was very reluctant to put the same pattern in the center that I had down here. And when you look at it just like this, you kind of think, wow, that's a lot of blue. But once I add this piece over the top, I just think it's so pretty. It really sets off the difference in the color. I think that navy just kind of fades. Let me cut that a little bit smaller. That navy blue just kind of fades into the background a little bit. You just don't even notice it as much, and it just becomes an accent to the red. I'm going to show you, since we have some time, how I stamped that too. Let me get I always save these little pieces. Just put it back on your little roll. There we go. That is card number 4. And I think it is so pretty. I mean, these are wonderful nautical cards. These can be masculine cards. You can give, I mean, they're so easy to do. Let's lay these up here. So these really have that same color, they all have the same color scheme here because I used the papers, but then I kind of changed up the color scheme for this 4th one. But I want to show you what I did with this stamp, because I think it turned out really nice, really pretty. And I did it, I don't want to say on accident, but I didn't know how it was going to turn out. But I thought it looked a little plain at first. Where's the stamp? Here we go. It's this really cool anchor, and it says, "Our family is my anchor." And how sweet is that? It's just so nice. So, put this down. Now, I started with the red, and the red that I'm using is Kiss Me Red, which is a really beautiful true red. I'm not a huge fan of orangey reds. I like really good, beautiful reds. And this one is, look at how gorgeous that is. telling you, these ink pads are so juicy. They're so wonderful. There we go. I'm going to give that one more. That's going to even out, but I want it to I'll do a little bit faster. There we go. Go ahead and wipe this up. So it's very, very red. And I could have put that on the top here where it's just plain red and nothing else. But I wanted some shadow, and I didn't want to take markers or pencils or whatever to it. I just wanted to use the inks. Liz is saying, Alan should give us a class and you could be the producer. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. We're going to have to remember that. Okay, so here's, oh my gosh, I put the stamp away. What was I thinking? Oh my goodness. See, I got a question and I lost my head. What did I do here? Oy vey. I lost my head. I don't know what I was thinking. I hope I can line this up. What did I do? I got stuff on this.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I got something on it. I forgot to show him what I wanted to show him, and I took the stamp off. So now I got to line it up again and hope that I line it up right. You know what? I know I'm not going to line it up right, and I'm going to be worried about those words. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this again in red because I want to show you what I did. Stephanie's laughing at me right now because I'm messing up. All right, so there's that. Let's give it one more. Okay, so I'm not going to remove the stamp. I'm going to leave it where it is, but I'm going to clean it and get rid of that red. Clean that. There we go. And I'm cleaning that red off of there before I go to my dark wash jeans, which is the blue. So I'm going to set the red aside because I always grab the wrong colors. Can you use the hybrids for direct ink to paper? Direct ink to paper. Oh, and I just remembered I forgot to do something. Okay, well, that's what I'm doing. Or do you mean just like going like this? I'm guessing.
Yeah, maybe.
I would imagine you can, because that's what I'm doing here. I'm just stamping directly onto the paper, and these are my hybrids.
Maybe using the blending or just directly to the paper from the pad.
Yeah, I guess you could. I haven't, but I would imagine you could, because it's not going to be any different than what I'm doing here. Okay, so here is my dark wash jeans, and this is what I did. I'm going to make sure I don't get this on here. I went ahead and I brushed a little bit of the dark wash jeans kind of on the stamp, and then I went over the words just a little bit as well. And this is how it comes out. I'm going to do a little bit more because I want a little more in there. There we go. Let's see how that comes out. Tiny bit more. Isn't that beautiful? I just think it's so pretty. I love it. And it's different every time. And I just think it really brings that anchor to life, and it offers up some age, some detail. It really shows off, with the two colors there, it really shows off the details on the stamp itself. And I just think that's really pretty. I realized that I forgot to do something because I just found one of my things here. I had intended... It's too late for me to do it now, but I might be able to go in a different direction. I had intended, actually, with this piece, I was going to wrap some of this string around this, like in this direction, before I adhered this piece down. What I could do, though, is open this up. I could go right on the inside of the card and wrap a little bit like this. Hold a little bit of this up here because I want to do a bow or something. And wrap this down and around just like this. I'm going to first put that into a little knot. I just think that adds a nice little touch. And then see if I want a bow. I might not do a bow. We'll see how it turns out. Here's my scissors.
Sharon says make a nautical knot.
I like that, make a nautical knot. If I knew how, I would.
I was trained in that at some point.
Oh, you were? Alan says he was
Friday.
trained in that when he was in the military. All right, here we go. See, now doesn't that just add that extra little something? I like it. Okay. So here's the two anchors. You can see how different they are with the same technique. It's just fun. All righty. So we've got 4 cards. I don't think I've ever done 4 cards for one of these. Let's see if I can put these in here. And then this one, the oddball out. Odd man. All right, so this was fun. Hey everybody, I'm back. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had so much fun. I could have just kept creating and creating and creating. And I love this. I think it was a lot of fun to create 4 cards. I did it very fast, actually, this afternoon. They came together really quickly. I think I was up here all of maybe an hour and a half. They came together very, very fast. And I didn't even have a concept when I was getting started. So just with one stamp set and the coordinating die, and you can do so much with it. I think that the solid stamping is just it just makes it that much easier, and it's a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. We've got a giveaway to do.
Oh.
Alan, I need a name. Okay.
Oh, let me count.
Hopefully you guys all got your comments in. So we can get a name drawn here. Denise Bryant. Denise Bryant, you're the winner. Congratulations. What did you win? I didn't even say what you won yet.
Well, in that case,
She's sitting there going, but should I be excited? I don't know what I won.
here, free mask.
No, this is what you won. You won the stamps and the dies that I worked with today, except you'll get a brand new set. So kind of did that backwards today. But so Denise Bryant, I need you to send us an email. I need your mailing address. So send it to customerservice@ldrscreative.com. That will come to us, and I need your complete mailing address so we can get these out to you. So it's the Explore and Discover. It's a 6x8 stamp set. It's a big stamp set, so you get a lot of stuff in there, and the coordinating dies as well. And yours will be brand new. It will not be my used set, I promise you. So, yay! Boy, oh boy. So today's Tuesday, right?
It's on the sign.
Today's Tuesday. He's got that on the sign up there. He's got the right behind it. So I have no idea what I'm doing on Thursday. Absolutely no idea. So if you have some suggestions, hurry up and get those out. If there's something you'd like to see, that would be
We
fun.
have a request for a whimsical submarine.
A whimsical, but I don't have it. You mean for Thursday?
No, just
Oh, a
stamp.
submarine as a stamp. That's a great
Yeah.
idea. Maybe a pocket pals? That could be fun too. That could be a lot of fun to do something like that. So we will definitely jot that one down. Alrighty, everybody, thank you so much. I had so much fun. As soon as I know what I'm going to do Thursday, I will get that posted. Let me think if there's anything else that I had to mention today. I don't think there is. Oh, I should mention the Stamp and Scrapbook Expo that we did on Saturday. That video is live on their YouTube channel, as well as their, I think it's not live, but it's posted out on their YouTube channel. And we still have the bundles. We still have some of the bundles. Some of it sold out. But that discount coupon, go there. Check out that video if for no other reason than to get that discount coupon, because it's a good one. And I can't tell you here. Rules are rules. So you got to check it out there and grab that discount coupon. Because it's on all of our Christmas and winter stuff, and including the bundles that the ones that we still have available. So it's a really, really great deal. So anyway, I will see you guys on Thursday, same place, same time. No idea where we're going to be coming to you from, but we will be here on Facebook and YouTube. So thank you, everybody. I had a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed the cards. I hope I taught you something, or at least kept it a little interesting for you. But thank you so much for spending your evening with us. We really, really appreciate it. Bye for now. We'll see you soon.